Now we will do a new topic, auxiliary verbs. Now, like for example, I am coming. He has finished. I didn't see them. So you have verbs like am, has, didn't. Now all these three are called auxiliary verbs. Now we will go into its usage to understand auxiliary verbs better. What do they do? How do they help us? The auxiliary verbs help to form a tense or expression. They combine with the present and the past participle or with infinitives to form tense of ordinary verbs. Okay? So let's look at auxiliary verbs. Now let's look at few sentences we have here. As I told you, I am coming. I am coming. Okay? He has finished. He has finished. Then I didn't. I didn't see them. I have three short sentences here for you. Look at. Now, here am, has, and didn't. Those are verbs. I am coming, am. He has finished, has, and didn't. Now, in these three sentences, am, has, didn't, they are auxiliary verbs. So what is am? Am, has, didn't, did not, whatever. Okay? And they are auxiliary verbs. What are they? Auxiliary verbs. Okay. Now, these auxiliary verbs, what we are trying to understand, they help to form a tense or an expression. They combine with the present tense or past tense or infinitives to form tense of ordinary verbs. So we are going to look at that. First of all, the auxiliaries are further divided. I said am, has, didn't, all these are auxiliary verbs. Now they say these auxiliary verbs, they are further divided into two kinds. Okay, we have principal auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. So we will look at principal auxiliaries first to understand the auxiliary verbs. So what did I say? We are looking at the auxiliary verbs. The auxiliary verbs are divided into two kinds. The auxiliaries are further divided are further divided into two kinds. Okay, what are they? One, the principal auxiliaries, that's the first one. And the second one, we have the model, the model auxiliaries. So we are going to look at these two separately, okay? The principal and the principal auxiliaries and the model auxiliaries. Both we are going to look at individually what is it to understand. Okay, now we are looking at the first one, the principal auxiliary. We'll look at this first. What about the principal auxiliary? Now here there is present tense and past tense. Okay, now let's look at to be. We are looking at to be verbs. When you say to be, and we have the present tense and past tense. In the present tense, we have present tense and we also have past tense. Now let's look at the principal auxiliaries in the present tense when we look at the to be verbs. Okay, that's what we are going to do. When you say to be verbs in the present, we are talking about am. I am coming. Then there is. This is a pen. Then we have are. These are boys, whatever. Then we have in the past tense was. In the past tense we have was and were. Was and were. We are talking about the principal auxiliaries in the present tense to be verbs. We have am, is, are, and the past tense we have was and were. Then to have. We are looking at to have. When you're talking about verbs to have, then in the present tense we have has. She has. They have. We use these verbs in the sentences. Then we talk about the past tense. In the principal auxiliary, we had. We use had. When you talk about to have something, she has 10 puppies. They have 2 houses. And you say they had 1 orchard or 1 vehicle. Now, in to do, when you talk about to do, in the present tense, the verbs we have are do and does. They do, she does, do and does. And in the past tense, we have did. They did go. They did do the work. They did not come, did. Okay. Now we are going to look at these verbs in detail and we'll be doing exercise on them. Okay. Now let's look at the first one. To be, am. To be, you have. So you have 1, you have 2, three types of verb we're going to look at. Now let's look at the first one. Okay, now let's look at the first one. You have am. When you say am, I am. I am writing. I am writing a letter. I'm writing a letter. We are talking about what verbs? To be verbs. And we are taking the first one. I am writing a letter. So we are looking at the to be verbs. I am writing a letter. Okay, another sentence I have here is, what is the next one we have? Let's take where. Okay, let's do is. Let's do is. All right? Now, is he coming? Is he coming? Is he coming with us? Is he coming with us? So I used am and is he coming with us? Is. Then we have are. They are to wait for us at the station. They are. So the next one we have here is they. We are talking about are. So we have done am, is, are. They are to wait. They are to wait for us at the station. At the They are to wait for us at the station. So we have done the first principal auxiliaries. To be, we have formed sentences here. I am writing a letter. Is he coming with us? They are to wait for us at the station. Okay, then we also have where. Okay, now let's look at the word where. Let's go into this where. We were informed. Okay, so we will say we were informed. Okay, we're talking about where. We were informed. Informed what? Informed about the match. About the match. We were informed about the match. Then was. There was. There was a girl in the hut. There was. Or there was a pup. There was a pup in the hut. There was. We are looking at the verbs, principal, auxiliaries, and we are looking at the present. In the present tense, the principal auxiliaries, verbs, to be, how is it used? Am, is, are. I am writing a letter. Is he coming with us? Are. They are to wait for us at the station. In the principal auxiliaries, past tense, we have was and were. Now, we were informed. Remember past tense, so we were informed about the match. There was a pup in the hut. So we learned to use to be Verbs am, is, are in the present. In the past, was, were in the past. The principal auxiliaries. Now we are going to look at to have, to do, how these verbs are used. We'll continue with the principal auxiliaries. So, the first one, we still have to go on the principal auxiliaries. Present tense and past tense. And we are looking at the second one, okay? To have. We are talking about the principal auxiliaries, the verb to have. In that, let's see what are the verbs coming up. We done to be. Understand? In this, to have, we have in the present tense has and have. Has and have. And in the past tense, we have had. We have had. Now, we are talking about has. You will say, his car has 4 doors. 4 doors. Okay, we're talking about has. His car has 4 doors. And then next you have is have. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Have you seen it? The answer is either yes, I have. Yes, I have. Or it can be no, I haven't. No, I haven't. I have. That is, I haven't. I have not. Okay. So, have. Have you seen it? Yes, I have. Have. We are using the word have. Have. Okay. Now we have the past tense, we have had. They had. They had. They had left. They had left. So, had. We're looking at has, have, and had in the principal auxiliary to be verbs. They had left or they hadn't. They or had not. Hadn't. Or you can say had. Had they left? Fine. So we have had. We are looking at principal auxiliaries. First we did, to be. And those verbs in the present tense, you have am, is, are. In the past, we have was and were. And here, in the second part, we have to have. In the present tense, the verbs are has and have. So, his car has 4 doors. Have. Have you seen it? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. In the past tense, we have in the to have had the verb. How do we use that? They had left. Past tense. They hadn't. They hadn't. And another way of using it, had they left? Okay. And in the third category, we have do, does, and did. Okay. In the third one, we have to do. We are talking about to do verbs. We did to have, now we are going to do to do verbs. And again, in the present tense, we have do and does, and in the past, we have did. So, in the present tense, and then in the past tense. Okay, let's look at the present and the past. The past and the present, and we are looking at to do verbs. To do verbs. Now, what are they? In the and we have to do and does in the present. Do and does, and in the past we have did. Did. So these are the 3 verbs we are going to look at. Now, do. What do you do in the evening? What do you do? What do you do in the evening? In the evening. What do you do in the evening? Okay. What do you do in the evening? Do. We are talking about the verb do. Okay. What do you do in the evening? Then, next one, do as I tell you. Do as I tell you. Do as I tell you. Now both are in the present. What do you do in the evening? Do as I tell you. Okay. Now we have another verb here, does. So, does he work hard? Does he work hard? Does he work? Does he work hard? We're talking about the does. The answer can be yes. Does he work hard? Yes, he does. You can say yes. Yes, he does. Or no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He does. He doesn't. Okay, now, does he work hard? Yes, he does. Or no, he doesn't. And then finally we have the past tense, the verb did. Did he go to see the play? So we have a final sentence here. Did he go? Did he go? Did he go to see the play? To see the play. Did he go to see the play? Did. We are looking at did. Okay. Then the answer can be yes, he did. No, he didn't. So the answer can be yes, he did. Again, did is used, or no, he didn't. He did. Okay. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. We are looking at the continuation of principal auxiliaries. To have. In the to have, we have three verbs. In the present tense, has and have. In the past tense, had. Has. His car has 4 doors. Have. Have you seen it? Yes, I have. The usage of have in the present tense. No, I haven't. In the past tense, you have had. They had left. They hadn't. Had they left? The usage of had in the past tense to have. Now let's look at the principal auxiliaries in the third category, to do verbs. In the present tense, we have do and does, and in the past tense, we have did. Now, let's look at do and does. What do you do in the evening? Do as I tell you. Okay? Next is does. Does he work hard? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. And finally, in the past tense, we have the verb in to do. We have did. Did he go to see the play? Yes, he did. No, he didn't.